by grants from COP's Service Star Home Center of Stamford and by the United Jewish Federation of Stamford.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear now? I want to welcome you all here this evening. This is a very special evening for a couple of reasons. Not only is it first night Hanukkah, but we are celebrating as a community, and that means something very special happened this year. We had thousands of Ethiopian Jews waiting in the desert for years in terrible conditions, waiting for their dream to come true, to go to Israel, and their dream did come true. We also had thousands of Russian Jews waiting in Russia to get their exit visas, and those dreams came true. And that's why we named this a freedom celebration. We have a great program for you this evening. We have the invocation by Rabbi Pierce. We have greetings by Ben Zimbab to introduce you to our Russian artist who built this beautiful menorah. It was built with love and devotion and gratitude of what they received from the community of Stamford. We are very happy to have Mr. and Mrs. Esposito here, their first evening. Let's give them a hand. Their first evening as mayor and mayoress of our lovely city. We will then have the lighting of the menorah, Bertha Bodenheimer, Rabbi Adler, and the menorah builders and their families. We will have an original freedom poem by Rabbi Hammerman, a communal singing with Rabbi Mark Gollop, and then we have some light refreshments inside. Thank you for bearing with us. We're pleased the rain has stopped. Have a great time, and I call upon Rabbi Pierce.
A happy Hanukkah to everybody.
Happy Hanukkah.
I'm delighted to see all of you and our mayor and his lovely wife in our midst. This year, Hanukkah coincides with the bicentennial of the Bill of Rights. And the lighting of this menorah provides us with a unique opportunity to reflect upon the glorious past of our people and to express our gratitude for the protection of free speech and freedom of other religions that generations of our people have been denied in past ages. Those very freedoms are watered down and denigrated by religious display on public property. And so we join here on sacred Jewish ground in prayer and song, lifting our voices and hearts to the supreme maker of all. We thank you, O God, for the abundant gifts with which we acknowledge this time of thanksgiving. Let us not take the hard-won freedoms of our Constitution and of our Jewish people for granted. Let us be mindful of our rights and responsibilities to uphold the laws of this land and to serve as a light to the ignorant, the misguided, and the short-sighted, and those who have lost their way. And let us together say, Amen. Happy Hanukkah.
This is a great night. On behalf of Federation, welcome. It's interesting, we're huddled under the overhang tonight because we're afraid the electric wiring might get wet, otherwise we'd be out in front of the menorah. It also happens to be raining heavily in Jerusalem and all over Israel, so we have a lot in common. Communities all over the world have been lighting menorahs, and we in Stamford are proud to be part of that Jewish world. Tonight is the first time, I think, as you look around to see children, grandparents, people from all the agencies and all the synagogues celebrating in public. It's a wonderful thing. We should have done it for many years, and this should be the first of a long tradition. The story behind the menorah is an interesting one. Federation felt it would be good for the community. It was coordinated and organized by the president of Bicultural Day School, Mort Chiraga, who spent an awful lot of time getting it together, and unfortunately, he's with his grandchildren in Canada. Mort, thank you for being the construction maven on this. I will only briefly talk about the Russians because Bertha will talk about them at length. They built it. Alex Streiser, Slava Smolinsky, and Pavel Kunin. They did a great job. I saw it with my own eyes. Another interesting fact. This menorah would have cost well over $10,000, but people from all over the community donated their time, their materials. Frank Mercedes and Company dug the foundation and helped erect it. Hatch and Bailey donated the materials. Acme Electric did the wiring. Molly Electric donated the materials. Union Street Carpeting put together the base. Carp's Hardware gave us the little pieces of hardware, which amounted to a lot. Sunhill Industries is where it was built. Stamford House Wrecking schlepped it over here on a big flatbed truck, and Arnold Karp Associates finally put the wiring into place. In the last few weeks, our Russian friends have worked hard and long to build this beautiful menorah. Tonight, let us rededicate ourselves to Soviet Jewry and to expand upon the progress made so far and to work to resolve the outstanding issues facing over 2 million Jews remaining in the USSR. Tonight, let us light a candle in solidarity with our Soviet Jews, whose determination embodies the spirit of Hanukkah. Another first we have, as Carol said, Mr. and Mrs. Esposito, our mayor, his first official pronouncement. Please stand, come to the microphone.
Thank you, Ben. Hello, everyone. You know, I've been mayor for approximately, well, just a little over 17 hours. And this is the very first, my first official function. This is something that I will never forget. And I hope every function that I attend as mayor will be as joyous as this. So my friends, just let me say, Hag Sameach.
I don't know, is Chris Shays in the, hey, Chris, you're always with us. We appreciate you. Thank you. Would you like to say 2 words? Thank you, Chris. Now my pleasure to introduce the other co-chair of tonight, Bertha Bodenheimer, and then we'll get on with the lighting.
And we all thank you very much. Rabbi Adler?
We would like to have everyone take note of the fact, if you will, that there are many, many people gathered here, and take a moment during the next 8 days to visit somebody who is unable to make it here to bring a little bit of light into their life as we bring light to all of those who are gathered here this evening. I think it would make a very meaningful Hanukkah for each and every one of us, to bring them that small jar of oil of light that they so desperately miss during this Hanukkah season. And so with that resolve,
Hanukkah. And now, as our Festival of Lights commences, we proclaim to the world in this most public of places our joy at the miracles happening around us and our defiance in the face of our foes. We say here tonight that we know who our enemies are, and the Bill of Rights is not our enemy. Lack of Jewish pride is. Thomas Jefferson is not our enemy. David Duke is. Most of all, however, our enemy is hopelessness and despair. We reject them, we overcome them, as we always have, by lighting a candle in the darkness. I ask you to join me in a responsive reading which has been handed to you. Together, we light a candle on Kislev the 25th, piercing the darkness of the oncoming winter. When all seems lost and hopeless, Jews don't curse the darkness. We light a candle. Kislev the 25th, 168 BCE. A sacrifice to Zeus was offered on the temple altar. Jerusalem is defiled by the blood of swine on that day. All hope for independence and religious freedom appears dashed. The darkness of an eternal winter. We light a candle on Kislev the 25th, piercing the darkness of the oncoming winter. When all seems lost and hopeless, Jews don't curse the darkness. We light a candle. We congratulate you today.
the first sacrifice. On the altar of the same temple, newly cleansed, Jerusalem purified and reborn.
We light a candle on Kislev the 25th, piercing the darkness of the oncoming winter. When all seems lost and hopeless, Jews don't curse the darkness. We light a candle. In Hanover and Brussels on Kislev the 25th, in the dark year 1349, Jews bury their dead, killed in rioting, slain for the Black Plague, accused of poisoning the rye. A year of terror begins, and Jewish life effectively ends in the villages of Alsace until Hanukkah 1961, when the rebuilt Rashi Chapel was dedicated. We light a candle on Kislev the 25th, piercing the darkness of the oncoming winter. When all seems lost and hopeless, Jews don't curse the darkness. We light a candle. Now I'd like to introduce our musicians for the evening, Rabbi Mark Golub and his accordion.
In 1948, the Jewish people established the State of Israel, where the menorah could burn in every street, in every home, in every town, in every village, in every city. It was the first time the Jews had their own state, their own commonwealth, since the days of the Maccabees in the 2nd century BCE. Everything about our life today is in some way a reflection of what the Maccabees did for us, fighting for our religious freedom. They have made the Jewish people possible. It is only appropriate that before we sing one or two more Hanukkah songs, we sing Hatikvah. Again.